Hello, Internet people. My name is Rick, and I have an interesting world to show you. Welcome to episode 2 of the Mitton World Server Tour. In this episode, I'm going to talk about the houses of Rotorua, the Portal Building, the Beacon and Pyramid, the Vacation Houses. Let's start with what's easily the nicest house in Rotorua. A common question you hear in Minecraft is, how long did this take you to do? In this case, I know the answer. The house and the structure behind it were built in 2 days, not counting the landscaping, the stables, and the swimming pool. Here's another example of people making up stories about their Minecraft world. According to Tim, the guy that owns this house also owns the nearby fireworks factory and the Warhorse stables next door. Let's take a tour. The redstone blocks around the front door was something Tim saw one of the kids do on the server and decided he liked it and he was going to copy that. I love the attention to detail. Carpeted floors, paintings. Now let's check out the dining room. Note the mix of paintings and item frames along the way. I like the centerpiece decoration of the dining room table. Apparently it's dessert time to eat some cake. Again, the mix of paintings and item frames. There's a lot of clocks on the wall in this house. I asked Tim if he had any advice for beginning Minecraft players, and he simply said, try to furnish your houses. Now let's go upstairs. Here's a simple, straightforward bedroom. Nothing too fancy, except that it has its own walkout balcony with a really nice view. On the same floor, here's another bigger bedroom. It has a couch, another couch with some cake in case you get hungry. Again, its own balcony with an amazing view of Rotorua. Let's see what Tim has been up to. Looks like he's been killing some zombies and skeletons. And he's stockpiling armor for an upcoming attack on the End Dragon. This bedroom has its own sound system. And check out how you close these doors. I think that's pretty creative. Now let's go upstairs. Here we have an enchanting room. The missing bits of carpet are so that the carpet doesn't interfere with the enchantment effect of the bookcases. Here's the potion room. Potions ready to be brewed. Plenty of water bottles. Lots and lots and lots of potions. Note how the windows on the third floor are a little smaller. Not only are small windows appropriate for a house in the desert, but it keeps the glass from connecting to the brick ceiling. This house has 3 bathrooms and 3 bedrooms, and they're all really well done. The lack of carpeting around the bed isn't a mistake. It's so that the beds are a proper spawning place in case you get killed. You could put carpet here, no problem, but then the beds wouldn't really be valid as beds. If you got killed, you would not reappear, even if you slept there. Tim did have a little help with the landscaping. I put in the trees and flowers and the green grass. I made this pool. I put blue wool in the bottom of the pool to make the water more blue than it really is. Tim put in the fountain and the giant mushroom. The giant mushrooms that have been popping up around town are there because I found a mushroom biome, and the mycelium that me and Tim harvested from it make it easier to put giant mushrooms anywhere you want. without using the shade trick. Behind the house is the courtyard that connects the main house to the servants' quarters. The servants' quarters consist of one giant kitchen and 3 bedrooms. I like the way Tim took the time to furnish even the rooms of the servants' quarters. How thoughtful of him. There's kind of a funny story behind this tree. Tim had already made me take down one of the trees I planted around his house for being too large. And I got back here and I wanted an acacia tree. And I planted it, and once again it was way too large. I left it there hoping Tim wouldn't notice. Well, Tim eventually decided to come back here and change some things, so he had to tear it down. But he wanted a tree there, so he planted a new one. And it ended up being this one, which was even bigger than the original, which was way too large. Tim left it because, in his words, apparently it was meant to be. The walls around the house, the swimming pool, and the stables were all added sometime after the main structures were built. Here's a map of the area around Rotorua. This town was named Rotorua by Anne because we were on a bit of a New Zealand kick when we were exploring this part of the world. All the cities near here are named after cities in New Zealand. Later on, Tim had this idea of making a fantasy city, a kind of mix between ancient Rome and something from Xena Warrior Princess. Does anyone remember that show? I think it was about 2 women who practiced martial arts and hung out with centaurs. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe someone could remind me. At any rate, when Tim had this idea, we looked at 4 different places. The center of the map here is the city of Wellington, which is on the Portal Network, and this blob over here is the city of Rotorua. Of the different places we looked at, Tim picked this one because of the view and because there was already a city here. The first thing we did was to make the portal building. I added the portal to the network, and Tim built the building around it, other than the dome on top, which I made. The fence gates are to prevent villagers from wandering in. These columns actually serve a practical purpose. They are here so that a player can jump out of the building without having to open the gate if the server is lagging too much, as it often does when you first step through the portal. This clock is here so that you know what time of day it is when you step through the portal. This cake is here because I told Tim the server needed more cake. I like putting maps in portal rooms or at the ends of railroads. This one hasn't been updated in a long time. I was saving it to do it on camera. I know a lot of buildings have been built since this map was last refreshed. The top of the dome of the public baths, for instance, wasn't even built when this map was made, and I'm sure a bunch more buildings will appear on it. So let's update this map. Oh, that's better. Wow, you can really see the new colors on it. It looks really good. Nice. This is the house that Tim made for us to stay in while we were in town. Here's his side, and here's mine. Tim offered to take down the signs, but I said, no, it's okay. I can take a joke. Let's take a look at what's inside. Tim decorated his side, although I added the statue of what was supposed to be a wither skeleton, hoping to startle him. I'm sure it didn't work. Because I thought it was funny, I helped Tim decorate his bedroom too. Seems appropriate, right? On top of the house, there's an enchanting area and a brewing area, complete with water source. Here's my side of the house. Nothing too fancy. Floor cake. Someone put some chickens in my house. It's a bit of a prank. I guess they're stuck. I could kill them if I really wanted to, but they're my pets. I think it's funny. Now, a reasonable question at this point would be, if this is a legit survival server, how did you get so many wither skeleton skulls? And the answer is, I have a looting 3 sword, and I have this. This is a nether fort that has been completely converted for the purpose of fighting wither skeletons and collecting wither skeleton skulls. To make it even more effective, I've been putting slabs everywhere in the nether around it that isn't lava, forcing things to spawn inside of it rather than outside. Using this, I can get a wither skeleton skull in about 10 minutes. If you'd like to see me doing that, leave a comment and let me know. This is the first house I made in Rotorua. It's not too fancy, but that's what I was going for. It's meant to be kind of Mediterranean style, with its white walls and brick roof. The one thing I dislike about it is that it looks like a small train station to me. Let's go inside. Inside there's plenty of storage, a really nice kitchen area with a tile floor, a working sink that is working to the extent that you can take water out of it and it doesn't run out. I really like bay windows, especially for kitchens. Here's the bathroom. It's meant to be a vanity with a sink, a toilet, and a working shower. Upstairs there's a proper bedroom. This house has to have some of the nicest views in the whole city. When the pressures of city life get to be too much for the citizens of Rotorua, they like to rent out one of these vacation houses. These houses were made by me, mostly to be seen from a distance. I see there's some lucky vacationers enjoying their house right now. This place is a variation of a house I end up making on pretty much every server I ever play on. This time the second floor deck wraps around the side of the house so you can enjoy the view from up here. As you can see, this is a spectacular place to have a party. Figuring out how to make the stairs up to here was an enjoyable challenge. This pyramid was made by Tim. Doing something like this in survival shows a certain amount of dedication. The beacon is from that time when me, Tim, and Ann got together and fought the Wither Boss 3 times. The pieces of that fight are already on my channel, but I will put them into a more coherent video soon. No, the cake does not make the pyramid work better than usual. I think Tim just put that there because he made more cake than he really knew what to do with. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, or subscribe. Bye-bye!